I'm not much help moving big things, so I'm just kind of there for moral support and company.
Oh,
It's really hard to be in a place that there's a ton to do, but you can't afford to do any of it. I was always a big dreamer. I mean, even when I was a kid, I'm like, I'm going to be a movie star. I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. I always wanted to be something big. The world needs confident and capable young men. With the manual to manhood, you'll be well on your way to becoming one of the best. Is he saying that he's the best? What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ryan Unscripted. Roll the intro. I hope everyone had an awesome Memorial Day weekend. Hopefully, those of you who didn't have to go to work on Memorial Day got to enjoy yourself, relax. I know I needed this 3-day weekend so badly. Needed a break from work. It was just becoming too much. And sometimes you just need a mental break, you know? So this weekend has been really busy though. My friend Sharon moved this past Saturday. She moved into a new home. A bunch of us all got together and we helped her with the move, got her into the new house. There's still a lot of work to be done, but we all tackled the major things. I'm not much help moving big things, so I'm just kind of there for moral support and company. I did carry what I could and I drove the cargo van. So, I wasn't useless, but I'm not really one to call when you need to move. I'm not going to be that much help. But it's okay. We made the best of it. We still had fun in the midst of it. And she's there now. She's still got a lot of work to do, but we did it. And then yesterday, which today's Monday, I'm filming this on Memorial Day. But yesterday, Sunday, I went back over to her house. We had some chicken from Popeyes. We enjoyed ourselves a bit and just kind of had fun. We were all wiped out from the move and we really didn't have much energy to do much else. So we hung out yesterday, and then today I am filming this and immediately afterwards going to edit this so I can get it up for you guys tomorrow on Tuesday. We post these weekly. I don't know why I said we, it's just me, but I post these weekly. I want to stay consistent with this. It's really important to me that I treat this like a job, even though I'm not making money off of this yet. I'm not monetized. I don't have enough followers. I don't have enough watch hours. I am taking this very seriously because I do want this to become my job. I want this to be something to where I can leave my corporate 9-to-5 job and do this for a living because this is fun to me. This is what I enjoy. Sitting down, talking to you all about life, about pop culture, about anything. I don't want to go into this corporate world and have to abide by these rules that I don't always agree with and deal with micromanagers who just don't understand that people have lives outside of the job. It's really been hard lately, but I'm going with the flow. It is what it is. I'm all right. We'll make it work. But it's just hard. This past week we got paid, and this past week was one of my bigger checks than my normal check. And even with it being a bigger check, I still have no money left from it. Everything goes to bills, everything goes to debt. I want to have money to go out and enjoy myself. I want to go to Disney if I want to go to Disney, Universal, SeaWorld. Those are all things that I want to be able to just jump up and go do. I live right here where they all are. It's really hard to be in a place that there's a ton to do, but you can't afford to do any of it. So I really hope that you guys keep supporting me, that you keep listening, keep watching, and we turn this into something bigger than me because that's what I want. I really hope that I can be someone that you relate to, someone that you feel like is going through something similar to you. I just want to be that person for someone, anyone, honestly. I find it really inspirational too to see people's careers grow. I mean, so many people start from nothing and then they end up in this big, huge platform. It's just amazing to me. I just watched Kevin Hart, the Mark Twain Prize. He was awarded on Netflix. And it was like a roast, but like also like an honorable kind of award ceremony. A bunch of these big name comedians came out and, supported him, but also like made jokes about him. It was funny. But really, what my point to this is at the end of it, he said, I always had a dream. And my dream was comedy. He wanted to be a comedian, however that would come out. He just wanted to dedicate his life to comedy. And he knew that he had to take that gamble, that he was all in on this one thing. He was all in on comedy and he was going to make it happen. Whether it was going to happen or not, he was going to be all in. And I respect that so much. I was always a big dreamer. I mean, even when I was a kid, I'm like, I'm going to be a movie star. I'm going to be on TV. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. I always wanted to be something big. Always. And I hope that this leads to that. I mean, my brother texted me last week and he was like, what's this podcast business about? What are you doing? Are you trying to be a star? And I was like, it's so much more than that. It is so much more than that. Like, of course, yes, I want people to know who I am. I want people to watch me every week. I want to have fans. I do want that. But also, I want to do something with my life that has purpose and meaning to me. And I want to do something fun that I can make a living off of. So watching all these creators, watching all these comedians, these actors, these movie stars, singers, artists, all of these people who come from nothing and take their passion and create it into this big, amazing reality. That's what I want to do. I want to, in 10 years, be receiving an award for something. I don't know what, but I want to be receiving an award for something. And this video be the video that they play. Just so I can see I made it. I did it. I came from this and now I'm there. Who knows what this will become? Like I've said before, I hope this becomes something bigger than me. The only thing I can do is to just keep posting, to keep putting out content that I think you all are going to enjoy and relate with, and just to have fun and be me, because that's what it's all about, being your authentic self and showing the world what you want to show. So I hope that this does become that. But let me get off my soapbox. I don't want to sit here and complain or sound ungrateful. I totally understand that I'm a lot more well off than most. So I don't ever want to seem like I'm not grateful for my life or ever seem like I don't appreciate what I have, because I absolutely do appreciate everything I have. And I absolutely do appreciate the luxuries in my life that I can afford that a lot of people can't. So I don't want to come across as complaining. I just want to let everyone know that you're not alone. Life is hard. Money is tight. Things are expensive. And it's okay sometimes to not be okay. Because trust me, I'm not always okay. That after that day, getting paid and then realizing I have no money left after that, I come home and my dog had shit all over the kitchen and it was hardened to the floor and I lost it. I was kicking boxes. I was yelling. I really had a moment and I had to control myself because it's not her fault. It's not her fault that I'm going through a tough time. It's not her fault that she has to be home alone 8 to 10 hours a day because I have to go to work and make a living. And that's another thing that I feel super guilty about is working a 9 to 5. I don't have a lot of time to be home with her. So that's another reason why I want this podcast to become something I can make a career out of, so I can live the lifestyle that I want to live and I can spend time with my dog and be with my dog and, take her with me to work or whatever the case might be. And I just really appreciate all of you who are watching this, liking, commenting, sharing, supporting, reaching out to me. Thank you so much. I hope that I'm not boring you guys with this, but truly cannot thank you all enough because the support means so much. Even though this podcast is so small and it's probably only my friends and family watching right now, I just really appreciate it so much. So, in the last podcast, I told you guys my mom was sending me a package, and in that package was a book on how to be a man. Now, I told you I had a busy weekend, a lot been going on, so I haven't had a ton of time to look at this book. So, what I've decided is I'm going to do a little bit about the book on each episode for a few weeks. So, here's the book. It's Manual to Manhood, and this is by Jonathan Catherman. And I will say, just from first glance and first impression of this book, it is absolutely written by a middle-aged Christian white man. Nothing wrong with that, but it's very obvious. This book was published 10 years ago in 2014, and just from, like I said, the first few glances I've seen, it's definitely going to be something good. Now, I will say there are definitely some very useful things in here. I'm not going to completely be making fun of this book or making jokes out of this book. Some things are like super helpful in here. So don't get me wrong, but you can tell that he wrote this book specifically for young teens who are going probably from like 16, 17 to maybe 19 to 20, like in that young adult stage of their life, because this is very much like, what is it, coming into your manhood type book. Apparently, he has one for girls as well, a manual to womanhood. I don't really know how he's qualified to write that, but I don't know. Who knows? But I wanted to start out with this because in the first part of the book is about dating and relationships. And it's kind of like funny and cringy all at the same time. But some of it is like actually like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like, this makes sense. Talk with a girl you like. And it's got a little illustration there. Which, this is some decent advice. It says to breathe, make sure you're like breathing normally because you'll hyperventilate and you'll look like a fool. Check your breath, make sure your breath doesn't stink. Approach with confidence and say something nice. Give a genuine compliment. Like, these are all like good pieces of advice. But this is where you can tell he is starting to try to relate with younger people and he's missing the mark. He's saying right here, wrap things up with a positive statement like, it was good talking with you. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Now is a good time to ask her for her cell number. In theory, yeah. Okay, absolutely. It was nice talking to you. Great conversation. Can I get your number? But he just sounds like an old man. Like, if Generation Z was listening to this right now, they would literally be cringing. They'd be like, what the hell does that even mean? Like, ask for their Discord. Don't ask for their number or something like that. It's just kind of funny. You can tell this book is a little dated. And then my favorite part I saw here, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. The best way to assure she text brags to her friends that she's, in quote, HAGT, end quote. I was like, what the hell does that mean? Thankfully, he put in parentheses what it means. It means having a good time. I don't know anyone in the world who's ever used the abbreviation HAGT. That just sounds like a middle-aged man trying to abbreviate things to sound cool. I don't know. But let's make sure she's HAGT. And that is to dedicate some TIME to planning and preparing for the date. So these are dating do's and don'ts, okay? So do think about it, obviously. Try to think about a date from her perspective, what she would like to do. Which, yeah, is good advice, obviously. You do want that. And then he says, write down your date ideas on a piece of paper. Brainstorming is a great way to test an idea, see potential conflicts, and identify your best options, considering cost, transportation, timing, and perhaps even her or your parents' permission. So this is definitely dedicated towards teenagers, which I'm not a teenager anymore. Mom, thanks for the book. I appreciate it, but this is kind of funny. So, I mean, like I said, there's some good advice in here, but at the same time, it's just like, what in the world? And then it talks about who is paying. Going Dutch is good if you want to keep things simple. No, you don't go Dutch on your first date, which he does say that later in the book. Don't, on the first date, follow the gentleman's rule. And I don't know. It's just, this book is definitely going to be an interesting read. It is definitely written by a 30-year-old Christian man trying to relate to teenagers. And like I said, there's some good advice in here, but there's also some really cringy things in here. Let me just read the back here for you. As a man in the making, you'll need to know how to do stuff. You also need a strong moral character to back up your new abilities. But who do you ask? If you want to have it all together, The Manual to Manhood is your go-to resource, with great illustrations and step-by-step instruction for almost everything a guy needs to know. I listen, if there's anybody in the world that follows this book and lives their life by this book, I need to meet you. The world needs confident and capable young men. With the Manual to Manhood, you'll be well on your way to becoming one of the best. Is he saying that he's the best? Because if you follow what he says, you're going to be the best man you can be. I don't know. This is just funny. Jonathan Catherman is a leading education consultant and trainer specializing in the character and leadership development of youth. He speaks worldwide about the principles and strengths that empower greatness in children's, teens, and young adults. As both a parent and a professional, Jonathan is committed to assisting young men in the making to experience success and significance as they mature into manhood and lifelong leadership. Jonathan, his bride, and their boys live in North Carolina. Jonathan, I am sure you're a great man, and I'm sure that your kids definitely value all the advice you've given them, but I'm just not sure I buy it. I don't know. It just kind of feels like very like stereotypical man's role, woman's role. Like it even says in the book, like a man and a woman are a perfect match. Like I understand some people do believe that a man should be with a woman and a woman should only be with a man, but I mean we're in 2024. Again, this book is 10 years old, so a little dated, but we're in 2024 and not everyone believes that. Not everyone believes that a man is perfect with a woman and that's the way it should be. So that's definitely where I get the like white middle-aged Christian man vibe from. But again, like I said, there really are some good things in this book, like just flipping through, like how to swing a hammer, how to sharpen a kitchen knife, how to grill a whole chicken, broil a steak, how to behave after an auto accident because we don't know how to act. I there are just things in here that are going to be funny to read, but there's truly things in here that I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to need to use this. Like spot treat a stain. Like that's valuable information. I'll give you that. But it's just so older generation feeling. I don't feel like kids in today's world will relate to any of this. Maybe not any of it, honestly. I don't know, but stay tuned for more podcasts. We'll go through more sections of this book. Mom, truly, I do appreciate this book. I know I'm making a lot of jokes and making fun about it, but I really do appreciate your thoughts behind it and your meaning behind it. I never had a dad. If you watched my deep dive, How to Get to Know Me, my dad was never in my life. I never really had stable male role models. So I completely understand the intent behind getting me this book. I appreciate it. I love you, Mom. You're great. You are a great father, a great mother. Again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in with me every week, for hanging out. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Sometimes I film these episodes and I edit them and I'm like, oh, this is going to be a very crappy episode. And then it usually ends up I have great feedback. So thank you guys so much for all of your love and support. It means the world to me, truly. Like I said in the last video, I'm a nobody from nowhere, West Virginia, coming on here, doing the best I can. This weekend's been busy. Trying to squeeze this podcast in was a little difficult, but I'm committed. I want to post every week, and stay tuned again for more excerpts from the Manual to Manhood. We're going to go deeper into that. Who knows what else we'll talk about? I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. Like I said in the last one, I want to make segments. I want to come up with different topics that we can cover on a weekly basis. So I'm working on it every week. People are telling me I'm getting better every week. So I really hope that you all think the same. And thanks for tuning in to another episode of Ryan Unscripted. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, on TikTok, Ryan3ns_95. I post the shorts on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube every week. I try to post like 3 to 5 a week for each episode. So hopefully that can gain some traction and some attention and bring in new viewers, and hopefully people that I don't even know are watching me soon. But it's been awesome today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed your Memorial Day weekend. Back to reality tomorrow. Stay tuned for another episode. Thanks, guys. Catch you in the next one.